Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 15 of my Let's Play series. In the last episode we finished off the perimeter and now we're ready to start building things there. So I have come back to my base to gather some supplies. I've set out a bunch of shulker boxes here that I'm going to fill up with the materials that I need to make my storage system, and I'm also going to grab all the materials that I need for the witch farm. So I'm going to need a ton of chests. Luckily, I've got a bunch done up here. I'm going to need hoppers. I've got a ton of those here. That's the storage system. I'm also going to need redstone torches. We're going to need probably about that many, maybe more. We also need comparators. Let's take a stack and a half of those. And a stack and a half of repeaters. We're getting low on this kind of stuff. This is just for the storage system. I'm going to count out all the materials that I need for the witch farm as well in a minute. But this is pretty much everything that we need, other than we're also going to need redstone, and we're going to need filter items. And then we're going to need blocks to build with, so we need plenty of redstone, and this is why we're building a witch farm, because we don't have a lot of redstone left. I think I've got 36 blocks in there, so we're not out, but we are definitely running low, and we're going to need more redstone torches than that might be just enough for our filters. So that'll be okay. And then I want a different filter item for this one over here. So what filter item should I use? I also need a ton of blackstone, because that's what I'm going to be building with. Blackstone and other resources like this. What should I use for a filter item? Maybe I've got lots of... It's something... I always want it to be something that I never am going to have going through a system. And over there, I mean, there's not going to be a lot going through the system, but I figure iron nuggets will never go through there. So let's do iron nuggets. So basically all we have to do is sit here and rename all of these filter. Okay, so I finished naming all of the filters, and then I have done a bunch of resource gathering. This right here is everything that we need for the storage system, plus some blocks to build with as well. I'm going to need more blackstone. I'm going to check my Hoglin trading farm to see if I have more ready to go when I pop through the nether to go over there. But that is okay. And then these boxes are everything that we need for the witch farm that I have gathered. That is just the system that is going to send items up. And then these are all of the blocks for building the farm itself. Lots of glass, concrete, soul sand, and then lots of slabs. Basically, this is all the roof. So this is everything that we need. And then I've also put together a little box of glass and wood. This is just so that I can build things while I'm over there, and the glass is all for waterways and elevators to move items around and get them into our storage system. Hopefully that is everything that we need, and anything else that we might need would be found in here, because I do have quite a bit of items in here as well. So the next thing to do is to pack all of this up and double check to make sure that we haven't forgot anything, and then head over to the perimeter. So I've just come over to my Hoglin trading setup, and I've been looking for some blackstone, but it turns out that there really isn't any here, just 33. So what I think I am going to do is pull out my gold and see if I can get a little bit from these guys. Turn this into ingots, and then all we have to do is throw this in here and flick this lever, and they will start trading. And hopefully we can get lots of blackstone, and this farm creates more gold than it uses, so it's not a worry that my chest is a little bit low on gold there. We are more than able to get enough ingots to keep this going in the time that the farm itself runs. So I'm going to do a little bit of AFKing here just to see what kind of blackstone we can get, because I really want to utilize blackstone in that area, and I just don't want to run out of things while I'm over there. So I'm also going to pick up a little bit more soul sand and things like that. And once I'm finished AFKing here, I will head over to the perimeter. Now, just to give you an idea of exactly how efficient this farm is, I have been here for 15 minutes. And there we go. We have almost 9 stacks of blackstone. I think I am now going to turn this off and just take the gold that is still in the system. So let's just, yeah, so you see I have a surplus of gold. More than I've used, and there's still always gold coming in here. And I'll just craft this up and take all of this with us. So there, and then blocks. So yeah, so we're leaving with 43 blocks of gold, more than we came with. And once this empties out, I will load up all of that blackstone and anything else that I want from here and head over. All right, now here we are back over at the perimeter in our little storage area. And you can see that this is ready to go down here. Now, this is where the witch farm is going to be, directly underneath. I've done the math for this. The AFK spot is going to have to be lower than that, but I do want the storage to be up there where the nether portal is. We need to AFK about 24 to 30 blocks above the top of the farm, and the farm is not too much taller than there. Most of it actually goes below that level. But everything is going to come up to here, and this is the next thing that I'm going to build. So it is going to be a chest-based system where everything gets loaded bottom to top in these chests. And then that is going to take a lot of hoppers. I'm not actually sure that I've brought enough hoppers, but I brought a ton of wood and I've got my iron box. So I'll be able to make lots more if need be. And then it's going to be a sorting system on the back with a water stream that runs around. I'm hoping to bring everything up in behind the portal and then have a water stream that is a loop so that if it misses the hopper that it's supposed to go into on one round, it will get picked up on subsequent rounds, and then we don't have despawning, because there are issues in Minecraft still with hoppers not picking up items properly, which is annoying, but there is a way around it, and that's just to loop things. And so this is the big project for the day. I'm going to be setting up hopper systems that are based on the impulse storage sorter system, just a simple one. It's like the one that's back in my base, but on a smaller scale, obviously with a lot more chests though, because I want these to be able to fill up with items, and I've made enough that we can have different farms over here, and everything from everywhere will come here. It'll all move in water channels down there to one elevator that's going to bring it up and into here. So this is going to be my first time lapse for the day. Not sure if we're going to get to do another one, but right now I am going to build up this storage system. So let's get it going. go. Here is our new storage system for all of the drops that are going to come from the perimeter farms. Now, I've done a little bit of math, and this storage system is capable of holding almost 600,000 items. So I think it will be sufficient for the amount of drops that we're going to get from the witch farm and other farms that we want to build over here. So this is fully automated. All we have to do is drop items into the water stream up here. They will run along, they get aligned by the ender chests, and then they run along the hoppers, the very edge of them, and they're able to be picked up. Now I've filled all of these up with filters. I'll have to put in a couple more filters for each, but that is not a problem, just to make sure that it's not too many items needed to drop it down. But basically I can show you how this works here. So you see, if there was stone in there, how many is it right now to get this to go through? Yeah, this is why we need more filter items, so that it is not such a high number. But there we go. So 41 and 4 filters. So it's actually okay if there isn't more filter items. Now, so 41 stone in there, and then the rest drop down. But now as soon as anything goes into this water stream, watch this. If we throw stone in here and we throw andesite in here, they'll both go around, get lined up. You see the stone got picked up, but the andesite didn't. And now it will come all the way back around. And this is what I'm talking about with the looping. So it'll just keep going around until it gets picked up by something that it should go into. And the stone will all appear down here. Everything past the limit of the filter. So these are super smart little systems. Let's get that swapped back out because we don't actually want stone in this one. And we're all good there. Did we end up with stone in different chests? No. That was everything. Yeah. Okay, so this is now done. Everything over here, the storage system is ready for items to go into it, which means we're basically ready to do farms. Now, if we come down here, the last thing that I have done is set up this frame of glass that you can barely see here, because this is where our witch farm is going to be. I have marked out the bottom of the farm. This is where the drops are going to get picked up, shot out, and sent up to the storage system. And then where those blocks are up there is where the witches will actually be spawning. They'll spawn there, fall onto a bunch of hoppers down here. Their drops will get shot out and up to the storage system. But what I'm going to do right now is jump into a creative world and show you the farm. So this is the farm right here. This is actually a farm by Il Mango. I have swapped out a lot of the blocks in here for aesthetic reasons to use blackstone in different colors than were in the original design, but the redstone is all the same. It works on a shifting floor design. This is the design that I was going to, or the mechanic that I was going to go with for spawning the witches anyway, and there's no way that I could design something that would be more efficient than this, so I'm going to use this design. I've changed it up a little bit though. At the bottom there was no system for getting the drops out of here, so I have them now running into this dropper, which will automatically be activated by this system that I put in here to shoot out the items as soon as there's any in there. So I can demonstrate that quickly by, actually it's easier if I go in here, say, and just huck some items onto the hoppers. So let's just say 64 blocks of redstone, and what you'll see is every time items go into the dropper, it will get activated and they will get shot out. And then it will go over here to a water elevator, which I didn't put in this world, instead of a hopper, and they will all get picked up. You'll eventually see 64 blocks of redstone go into here. Now, most interestingly, let's turn this farm on so that you can actually see how it works. So right now this world is set in peaceful, but let's change it to hard. And now, depending on where I am in the world, witches will start to spawn in a few seconds. There we go, there they are. So witches spawn, and then they activate the string on these tripwires. and they shift the floor. And because soul sand and concrete blocks, it's kind of difficult to see, but because soul sand and concrete blocks are technically different heights of blocks, they end up falling through the floor and falling to their death. And then everything gets picked up down here, goes into the dropper, gets shot out, and goes into this chest down here. And there you can see the 6 different items that come from witch farms. So most interestingly, we're wanting the redstone, but we're also getting gunpowder. I love that we're getting glowstone out of this as well for glowstone blocks and lamps, things like that. Glass bottles we can use for our honey farm. Oh, there's also sugar, that's the 7th. And there's spider eyes, which we can use for potion brewing. Spider eyes is something that we didn't have a lot of before. Sticks are fairly useless. We could burn them if we really wanted to in our smeltery. But yeah, so this farm is very efficient, does between 4,000 and 5,000 drops an hour. So that probably, the drops are fairly even, so that probably relates to hopefully 600 or 700 redstone an hour, which is fantastic. And I'm going to be building this up in the world, but this is quite a large build, as you can see. So it's not going to happen in this episode. I'm going to build up this system down here in this episode. So the collection, the system that shoots the items out, and the water elevator up to the top. Okay, and now we are back in our survival world. So I told you earlier that I did get all of the blocks for this farm, and I have now set up a little platform down here out of sea lanterns to just hold some stuff and act as a little work platform that it doesn't spawn mobs. So here we go, blocks, blocks, tons of blocks, blocks. So this is all the glass for the tube. This is all of the roofing material. We've got the soul sand and the concrete for the shifting floors, and then just tons of redstone and hoppers. Hoppers are what we need for down here to get things started. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks across. So we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the hoppers, and then we're going to bring everything together. The drops from this farm are about 5,000 an hour, 4.5 to 5,000, which means technically one hopper can keep up with all of the drops. So we're okay with just one hopper dropper setup. So we just need to funnel everything down to one block, and this will be our killing platform for the witches. And then we will set up our little dropper system to get all of the items into a water stream. So we have our hoppers placed down, and now the next thing that we need is right here. This is where the dropper is going to shoot out. But what we need to do is get down a little bit lower so that we can do all of the redstone underneath here. So what I think I'm going to do is do a little bit of janky makeshift scaffolding, and then build out from there. So that'll be good enough for building down here, and then we'll get rid of the water so that we don't mess up any of our redstone. So there we go. Let's take a bucket and get rid of that. So now what we have to do is take some glass and build out and over. So this is what is going to read our signal. I'm going to try and do a little bit of this redstone on camera. I know a lot of the time I do time lapses for things like this, but this time I'm going to do it on camera. So we do that facing over, and then I need to grab a piston. Okay, so it is a sticky piston facing down here, and then we should be able to place a redstone block against that. Let's get rid of this glass. No, don't get rid of the glass that had our comparator on top of it. Silly, silly, silly. So that goes there. This will now read a signal. If there's anything in there, that block will go down. And then what we did was we had a solid block to the side of this redstone. So when it came down, so it comes down to there, which means we want a solid block here. There we go. And then that solid block, I believe, had a redstone on it. And then we have to do the observers over here. So this observer is what does the whole farm. So we want one observer facing down here. Don't know why I'm using glass. It's like the worst block to break. One there, and then we need another one facing up into it. And that creates our infinite loop. And then we just break this with a sticky piston in there. It'll get pulled down. Now all we have to do is right here somehow get low enough to place one more sticky piston. We need it under this block, so that is going to be somewhat difficult. Maybe we just need to do our water trick one more time. Water down, place, and grab the water. There we go. And then sticky piston again, wherever it went. Where's my second sticky piston? Oh, I needed 3 sticky pistons, not 2. That's okay. We've got it just over here. In these boxes we have a ton because of the witch farm up above. So sticky piston, and then sticky piston. Oh, wrong block. Give me that under, and then a redstone block here as well. And then let's just get back up. All right, so now let's take all of this stone down. We can't have any of this here because it is spawnable. Gone, gone, gone. That's everything. And now this should function, hopefully. So let's just give this a quick test with a block we don't care about because I'm not going to go down and get them. Throw a couple of glass in here. Yes, the moment it's in there, they get shot out. So there we go. And now we get packed ice and run it along here and keep going. So now we just need to go out far enough that we can send it up past the farm in a water elevator. And I'm going to try and make one water elevator here that all of the farms here run to. So I just need to make sure it's out past where the witch farm is going to be. I'm going to have to do a little bit of math here to be able to figure that out, but I can do that in 1 second. I'll just explain how this water flow works. So all we need for the water flow here is water sources and pressure plates. So I use these and that melted instantly. Oh, because of the sea lantern. And then we put a pressure plate there, and then we put another block of ice. And just doing it like this, we can move items along. So that is how we do that. Just break that and it'll shoot them along. Now I need to do math as to where the elevator itself is going to be, but I also need glass there and glass there to make sure that nothing can spawn on top of that. Everything here has to be spawn proof. That is the absolute most important part. Packed ice can also spawn, so those pressure plate areas are spawnable, which means we have to cover this with glass as well. Technically only in the spots where the pressure plates are, but I'm just going to do it all. So there we go. So this is pretty much a complete collection system ready to go. I just need to do a little bit of math to figure out where this water elevator is going to go, and then we will get that set up. Hilariously enough, it actually turns out that we were pretty much perfect where I set this up. So we are going to make our water elevator right here, and our water elevator is going to be made of black glass. So we need this here, we need to replace this block with glass, and we need to replace this block with soul sand for the elevator. And now we have to do the tedious task of building up this glass to the storage system. So I'm just going to place glass for approximately 20 minutes and I will be back. Okay, so I have built this up all the way to the top. I think I'm going to need a little bit more black glass for the farm now. Luckily I brought over some extra glass in the shulker over there, and I think I have some black dye in my ender chest, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now all we need to do that... What? Hello? Oh, is this that weird glitch where you need a block under ice in order for it to turn to water? Yes, okay, so we need that, and then what we need to do is break through here, and then go to the bottom. Don't die in the process. And now what we have to do is wait for the water to come down and then do a little bit of kelp action. And kelp. And bone meal. Okay, it's not taking bone meal anymore, and we are now dying because we're drowning. So all we should have to do is break the very bottom one, and it should take us all the way up to the top. Whoosh. And then we need to cap this off. Let's go one above and there. That should shoot everything out this way. And then we do want to cap that off, cap this off. Okay, and now let's give this a full test. Let's put black glass in there. And let's get it up to where it runs through. Okay. So we'll let that run down to the point that it's at. And then we'll take it all out, and that's good. 58. Okay, so 58 is what we're looking for in the chest. Now what we want to do is throw this down there and get rid of them all. And we should see every single one of them come up and land inside of that chest. We seem to have a little issue because this has stalled out at 28. So the issue was I removed the red glass cap down here to change up the water streams that were going into the elevator, and I forgot to put it back, so they were spraying all over the sides here. But now this should work. There is the 58. We throw it in, they start getting shot out. And let's check one more time. And this time there is our 58 all accounted for. All right, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end the episode there for today. We got a lot done. We got this storage system complete and working, and we also got down below the collection system for the witch farm ready to go. In the next episode, we are going to try and build up that witch farm. Hopefully it gets done in one episode. We will see. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed if you're not already, but I will see you in the next one. Bye.